it was a very amazing experience just to go back home, bro.
That's
You
awesome,
guys,
bro.
you guys should go. You guys should
Oh,
go with me sometime, bro.
man. Hey, so you said you've been gone for 10 years. I have a question. What's the biggest changes that you've seen since you left? Like what kind of changes have you seen from 10 years ago to now, like 2026?
Man, to be honest, the way I see it, it's family gatherings. It's not the same. You know, like
Okay.
people that were there, back then, that was putting stuff together, for families and stuff like that. It's not like that no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
every family is doing their own thing, and it's just crazy. It's from when I was growing up as a kid, like, our families were like tied, together, like we were doing stuff together all the time, but now, going back, we're seeing like different faces there, in the villages, there's like a lot of houses that are abandoned, saying like families that used to be there that I know personally, saying that I grew up seeing, that's kind of like one of the biggest things is like families are not together anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're separate. Like people are doing their own thing. And I don't mind, people doing their own thing, but then that it's that togetherness, you know what I'm saying? Like the unity that was
Oh,
there before, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Growing up, So that's one of the biggest changes that I've seen, but when we're talking like business wise, stuff like that, like economical, bro, there's so much, like there's roundabouts there, there's still like a lot of changes that still needs to be done, but then like job wise, like there's a lot of new things around the like, attracting like tourists and stuff like that, but
Right.
definitely great changes, but there's still a lot of changes needs.
No, that's awesome, bro. And going back to togetherness, right? What do you think is causing that? Like, are all the people in American Samoa, are they moving to the States, or what's going on there? Like, what do you think is happening?
Man, you hit it right there, Oos, man. Definitely it's the economy, you know, like people are coming out of the states for better opportunities, therefore there are opportunities there in America and Samoa, but then people's goals, like, it's either you're gonna go come out here for school, or you're gonna come out to join the military, right? That's kind of like the two outlets, right, of like over there that I know, and I'm pretty sure like everybody knows that the main one is like people coming out joining the military, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, like, I don't think of anything else, but it's really like, better opportunities for families because not every family, you know, is well, fortunate out there. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of families, like I too, like my family too, I don't come from like a very well family out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I too, I consider myself as a poor family too, where I came from too. You know what I'm saying? But
Um,
I never thought of it like that when I was living there, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just a kid, I was having fun, I was living the life, I was there, until I came out here. Then I noticed you know, how different it is life out here versus back there, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't take it for granted, because, it can happen to anybody, and, families, are searching for an answer, an opportunity to take care of generation and generation. You know what I'm saying?
no, that's awesome, bro.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I got a more of a personal reflection question for you, brother. Um, what lesson did you bring back with you? Going back home after, a decade or so, what did you bring back that kind of hit you and stood with you, sitting on that airplane, bro, back home thinking about it like, damn.
Man, that's a real like tough one because there's so much stuff that's needed there, right? I connected with family, I connected with friends, like people that I grew up with. There are some people that reached out that, I couldn't connect with while I was there, but definitely like on my way back here, all I thought about was staying over there. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to stay there. But coming out here just made me realize of how lucky I am. You know, like I cannot take this opportunity for granted because my family, they're depending on this. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm messing up out here, man, and that's crazy because I came out here too. When I first came out here too, I was thinking about going partying. When I first came out, I want to go party. I want to live the life. I want to smoke. I want to drink. I want to go to the clubs. Like all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But now it's different. I want to be better. You know,
Awesome,
that's
bro.
pretty what it is, bro.
That's awesome. It's like, hey, you moved here 10 years ago to the United States, right? If there's one advice you could ask yourself or tell yourself 10 years ago, like before moving to the States, what would that be, bro? And how much different you think your life would be?
And
Like before Doc is moving to the United States 10 years ago, what are you telling yourself to give you a head start in life and to make a better change than, you know, I mean, the you know what I'm saying? Like
no,
the what's
I got you. I got you.
okay.
If I was to be able to tell myself something like 10 years ago before I came out here, I would have told myself to get into business. You know,
Ooh, ooh, there you go, bro. I
I
hey,
love
love
for
that.
real.
Yes, sir.
Hey, for real. You know what I'm saying? I would have told myself to get into business. Like, to skip everything else, but just to go straight to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like this is really where people like they scale, you know what I'm saying, to the next level is when you put yourself into that space of like business, right? Because you can get any job. You can go get any job. You can go get any license and stuff like that. Go get any job. Anybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? But then stepping into the world of business, that that is really different. You know what I'm saying? Like that's different. That's like a whole nother like section of life. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard,
that.
especially coming from home, coming from where we come from, there's not very many business minded people, you know what I'm saying? So I wish that, if I had an opportunity to tell myself, I would have told myself to get into business. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great answer, bro. 1000%, man.
Right.
And I feel like, our culture, American Samoa, even Samoa, the military, they preach everybody to come out, go to the military, or go to college, try to get into the NFL. But there's, we're kind of showing, I want to show them there's more than that, right? Like you
Yep.
were saying, you would tell yourself to get into business because you would be able to scale a lot faster in your life, right? Your livelihood would be a lot quicker, right? Instead of
Yep.
buying two houses in 2 years or 10 years that you did, you might have bought the houses in 4 years. You know what I mean? So you would have cut that gap. Oh no, I'm 100% with you, man.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Yes, sir.
Because for the most part, that I mean, obviously that's what we hear a lot this day, right? Is the only way making it off the rock is either the army, football, you know what I'm saying? If there's an opportunity for camps to go down there, and actually see our people down there do some work, you know. But for the most part growing up, that's kind of all I heard as well. But imagine folks out there being surrounded by, a business mind of a person that's trying to teach them a different game other than just football and the army. You get what I'm saying? Just get it off the rock, just to make it off the rock. And that's why we see a lot of our folks back on the mainland, and they're all over the place, and they're all in the service, man. So salute to those guys. Salute to the brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? All in the service. You know what I mean? But for sure, man. I do have a question though. One more question for you, brother, on my end is
Oh, yep.
how important is the Samoa back on the island now these days? You get what I'm saying?
Bro, it's
ooh,
it man, what's crazy? Because it's still there. The culture is very strong back there. It's hard to kill. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many talks of people, that wants to say, those were the old days. We are now in the new days. You know what I'm saying? Like that has to stop. But it can't because this is what do you say? Like the Favai, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where it all began. So it's hard to kind of just be like, brush off the facade more. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes like so with my family, like my side of my family, you know, we did not really like grew up like like in the like we did like on my western side, my western Samoan side, yeah, like very strong. You know what I'm saying? But my American side, my very Americanized. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up in my house, man, like my grandpa was in like a lot of like the Fasamo stuff, but then we weren't really like rooted like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't rooted like as many as a lot of these Samoan families. For me seeing back home like right now it's still the facade more is still strong. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like I still see it on Facebook, on social media, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's why I love how like, with me and my wife's family, so her family is like 100% all the way facade more, you know what I'm saying? And I'm doing my best to try to like, mingle through the culture like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't really rooted that way, so I'm doing my best to be rooted that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know some stuff here and there because I go to like a lot of my friends, if like some of my families follow Velavis and stuff like that. But but these guys, like, they're like every day, man, it's happening, bro. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, you know what I'm saying? The good thing is like, I got the bank. You know what I'm saying? I might not have the Fasa more stuff of them, but I got the bank account to support. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
As long as the support is there, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
But
sir.
definitely, but yeah,
Oh, 1,000%. And that was a great answer because I know the Fossil way and the islands gotta still be strong because it's moved over here to America. You know what I
yep,
mean? It's like kind of crazy. We still, I love my culture. I'm not talking anything, bad
yeah,
about it. I love the culture, but it's kind of hindering us and hurting us for the people that for the some ones that live out here. It's expensive. We live in Seattle. You know what I mean? It's hurting us out here
trying
because
to
of
tell you, trying to
was
tell these guys, bro.
especially if it's happening every month. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great question, man. Man, and we're happy that we missed you when you went to South Point,
Yes,
man, and
sir.
to have you
Certainly,
back. You know what I mean?
man. Hey,
Catch
man,
up.
I'm glad to be back, man. I'm glad to be back, but a part of me, bro, I wish I was still there, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, guys. I wish I was still there. It was like it was like a facade, bro. Like you were like, like in a dream, bro. Like you were in your own space, bro. It was that's how life is over there, bro. It's like you are on your own time, bro. Like nothing like matter. Like, bro, I did not even think about work. You know what I'm saying? Like anything business, bro. A lot of my stuff for videos for my business was like literally the last day, bro. Because, bro, like everything was just
Praise, man.
out of my mind, bro. Everything was just out of my mind, bro. Like I was just happy to be there,
We're taking it in,
and
bro. We're taking it in,
yeah,
man.
bro. And I
Been
just
a
had to
long
like take all this time in for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely, bro. We gotta go back, bro. Yeah, like us three. You know what I'm saying? That would be nice.
We're gonna
Yes,
make it
sir.
happen. We're definitely gonna make it happen. I got one more
Definitely.
question for you, Us.
Oh,
Uh,
yep.
I seen the video when you first got there with your mom, and in the ending when you were leaving with your mom. How has it been being away from her for 10 years? I know you guys talk on the phone and messaging, but like being away from her in 10 years, like for the 10 years, how has it been and how did it feel when you first saw her again?
Bro, it was nice. It was like one of those dreams come true, like talking about this stuff, bro, usually gets me emotional. I'm trying to like, fight through it, but
No worries, Zeus.
definitely, man, it was I loved it. I wish I didn't have to come back, but there's things that needs to happen, in order for things over there, to happen. So I'm out here, I have to do what I gotta do, because we're only given like, a certain amount of time, and that's all we have. So it was the seeing my mom, now that I'm taller than her, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy because before, man, I till this day, bro, I'm still scared of my mom, right? Because
Yes,
oh, the
sir.
discipline, the discipline, like so wow, they come looking, they come, what's up? Like fussy, man. I used to get beat up a lot back then, but now she even said it too. While I was sitting there that night that we were dancing and we were hanging out, she said it like, you used to complain about, me like hitting you, sussing you, and now look how you turn out. I was like, you right. You right, mom. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
But
looking for
definitely,
your
man,
homies.
I
Let you
wish definitely I wish it never ended, and but time would tell, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just over here. I gotta do what I gotta do, just like, you brothers as well, so
know. Yeah.
yes,
Man, I just want to say, I commend you, bro. Just a Samoan kid coming back from the rock. You know what I mean? And just where you're at today. Man, a lot of people that grew up in America, right, are people, they're not at that level and they're not pushing for their goals. But I really, hats off to you. Like, you're a good role model for like people that are coming from the rock, who's for real.
man. Thanks,
Sir.
bro.
Yes,
Appreciate you
sir.
guys for that, man.
Yes,
Let's get
sir.
it. Let's get it.
Hey, but
Yes.
I got a question for Seek, bro. It's been, shoot, what, 6, 7 months, bro? We didn't really ever, sit down and talk about it. You know what I mean? So Seek, how has the transition moving from Washington to OKC been for you and your family, bro?
Um, Man, 100%. It's been great, to be
Mhm.
honest. It's probably if I'm being real, bro, it's probably one of the best moves I've ever done in my life. You get what I'm saying? But it's crazy. I'll tell you this. When I go to barbershop and I meet other people, they're always like, damn, bro, out of everywhere you wanted to relocate, you relocated to Oklahoma. And I was like, damn, bro, it's crazy because I love Oklahoma, man. So, it's beautiful out here. It has its pros and cons, right? But the transition for me and my family itself, bro, has been a blessing. I'm very grateful for it. Um, the reason being is, one thing too was just removing myself from a certain environment that I was in. You get what I'm saying? Um, growing up. Uh, to be honest, if I was back home, it was easier for me to get into something than getting myself out of something. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Here in Oklahoma, I don't have that, bro. I don't have to sit here and make a choice to do this and do that. You get what I'm saying? And I love that. You know what I'm saying? I think an understatement of it is, growing up and realizing that I really love peace. You get what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
And just removing myself from that environment, you know what I mean? It has helped me grow. I've grown, you know what I'm saying? It gives me a lot of time to think and actually to continue to work on, what we got going on and what we're creating to make our dreams come true. Because
Thousand percent.
you know what I mean? So it's been great,
Let's
man.
get it. Let's get it, bro. Hey, I got a
Awesome.
question, bro. I also got a question, bro. You know, like, although we are in business and everything, and we got our own lives and stuff like that, bro. Like, what is like your biggest fear?
My biggest fear, my biggest fear right now is time.
Mm,
My biggest fear
I
is
like
time.
that.
I
Yeah.
love that.
And I think they say the brother of time is death. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the reason why I say time is because there's so much to do. There's so much that I want to do. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? There's so much things I have implemented and implanted in my brain that I want to bring to life. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of it, we can't tell time. No man can tell time. You get what I'm saying? But it's what we're doing in between. You get what I'm saying? In between time, what are we doing? So my biggest fear is time. You get what I'm saying? But there's always things around that. There's a saying I was watching a clip about with Chad Ochocinco. You know what I'm saying? Chad Johnson. He said, "Why would I buy a 50K watch when time is free?" You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
I like
I love
that.
that. I love that bar. That's a bar, bro. But at the
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when we get deep into the time part, who knows how much time we have left? You get what I'm saying? So
Mm.
everything that I have implemented in my soul and my brain, I want to bring all these things to life before my time is up. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, it's
Because
like it's like was it worth it? My time? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? 50
For
band
sure.
watch, you know what
Yeah. No, for
I'm
sure.
That's crazy, bro. I like that, bro. I really love that, bro.
I really
You know
love
what I'm
that, bro.
saying? For sure.
So like what were you when you were driving to OKC from Washington, what were you saying in your head, man? Like what were you I know you've been talking to yourself, like sometimes I talk to myself in my head.
Nah,
What was
yeah.
saying, man? What was going through your thoughts?
The top thought was, am I really doing this? I can't believe I left the state line already, bro. The moment I already passed Oregon, I mean California, there was no turning back, bro. I'm
Mhm.
already gone. So, we here in there, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, all the way to Oklahoma. Although that's what I was thinking, but it was more of what I was feeling. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I knew a change was coming and I had to do my part on it, right? The change is already there. I have to put my part in doing that change. But definitely it's more of just like missing family. I mean, my mom and my grandma, everybody's back home. So, it's that comes more to of a thought. You know what I'm saying? When I'm thinking about back home, you know what I'm saying? Family, obviously you guys are back home, my partners, families and friends, you know what I'm saying? I was living in Washington since 95, man. And then left in 2026, bro. So I've been out there for a minute. So it's a huge change, but a
That's a
lot of
big
things change.
jump.
Yeah, yes, sir,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Well, I respect that, also. And just because the entrepreneurs, they want to move, they want to see new things, right? So my question for you is, if I wanted to move to, a new city where I had no network, right? What kind of no family, no friends? What kind of advice are you giving me?
One word, man. Optimistic. You have to
Okay.
be optimistic in order for you to make that and make that change. You know where you're going. That's all. That's what I knew. I knew where I'm headed, right? I knew where I'm headed. I knew where I'm going. How I'm gonna get there, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? But I was
Hey,
optimistic about it. You have to open yourself up, your mind, your soul, your heart, your brain, everything to what you are looking to do. And to be honest, I spoke my Oklahoma trip and this Oklahoma move into existence. I didn't know if I was gonna come out here or not. But I was already telling folks like, "Oh, I'm moving to Oklahoma, I'm moving to Oklahoma." I had nothing set up, not a home, nothing, man. You get what I'm saying? So when we moved to Oklahoma, my family and I, we stayed in a hotel for a couple of days until we were able to get a home. And then, man, we got an amazing home out here, a beautiful home, by way and shout out, of the Uso Peace, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him.
hey,
Um, but it goes a long way, being
peace.
optimistic. Came out
Yeah,
here, had to stay, in hotels for a couple of days, almost a week, and it was able to make it happen, man. And that's what being optimistic is. You know what I'm saying? Just packing up and going. Knowing that, with everything I already know, I knew something was gonna happen. I knew I'm gonna make something happen. You get what I'm saying? How I'm gonna do it, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
that's awesome, Moose. Optimistic, yeah, man. I feel the
I
same
love
way.
that.
You
Yep.
know, mindset, anything you do is the mindset, right? If you're thinking positive about everything that's going to happen and that's happening in your life, it's going to go that way, right? But if you're
Yep.
nagging and saying you can't do this, we don't say that C word, right? It's going to go downhill. But yeah, bro, optimistic, man, having that mindset for sure is 100%.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is
100%, man.
I got another question for Seek too, bro. Like I know, man, you've been doing some music, bro. You've been doing some music, bro, on the side, bro. Like like and I know I heard your music before too, you know what I'm saying? And what what made you wanted to connect with that again? Like, what like kind of and why you decided to go back to that, you know?
Oh yeah, man, that's a great question, bro. Uh, I love music, bro. Growing up, that got me through a lot of things in life. Also, it was a connection for me and some of my bros that I lost in the streets together. You get what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
they loved doing music, so music was always a thing, bro. Period. Growing up, but being able now in this time of 2026 in this new era, right? To be able to see something online and create some music and bring it to life, especially your own words and your feeling, right? Um, that's what made me go back, right? although it would be nice for me to go to the studio and start making some more music, you know what I'm saying, with my own persona, my own voice, I would love that. But
Yeah.
like I said earlier, time is everything. If I got so
Hmm.
much other things to do, but if I could put something together for a couple of minutes or an hour and create a sound that I love and the music and my lyrics, I could bring that out. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm.
now that's what made me go back to music. Uh, I've always been connected with music, man. So being able to do this now with the tools that we have online, I'm definitely grateful for those platforms for me to be able to get on and make my sound and bring my sound to the world. You get what I'm saying? In a different way now.
Sick to Wavy.
Come
Hey, if
on.
That-
you haven't heard, Sick to
Yeah.
Wavy, man.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir. Ski.
Guys, so I got a question for both of you guys. What I'm getting in business, are your family and friends going to support you right off the bat?
It's a hell no.
That's a hell
Why?
no, man.
It's a hell no, bro. It don't matter. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. This is the way I see it. Um, they see you out here, man, and they see out here that you do your thing, you're building something from the bottom up, you're grinding, you're hustling, and then all it takes is a like. You get what I'm saying? All it takes is a just a comment or a share. That goes a long way. People don't understand in the
Man,
entrepreneur way,
yeah.
in this entrepreneur world, dude, that goes a long way, man. One
Hey,
like, one comment, one share,
Exactly.
bro, it goes a long way.
bro, and you know what? And that's why I give props to the Filipino community because man, these guys are like glue, man. Like they stick together, you know what I'm saying? Like they share, they like, and you know what I'm saying? But um like that whole thing, bro, like family, not supporting, it's not just like a our poly community, bro. It's
Yeah.
everybody. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
No,
That's
100%.
everybody. It happens. I've seen it. I've seen some of the brothers too, like like that we know of, like they share that
Yep.
quote,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, that we work with, but definitely, bro. It's crazy because, man, like you would think that, they would be the first people to, support, like share and stuff like that, or constantly share your stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's not, and sometimes I feel like I kind of like made peace with it, like because I know like I don't share certain things on my page, you know what I'm saying, because of like my belief and what I believe, and I feel like that's kind of where they're coming from, but there's a difference though, you know what I'm saying, because this is more of like a business, right? We're trying to put something out there that it's never been out there, or like in our space, especially like your family, right? And then I would think like, my closest friends, my family would be the ones like sharing, every time I put something out. But, fortunately it's not, and I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got their own life, everybody got their own beliefs, you know what I'm saying? Like just like how you say like time, you know what I'm saying? People got stuff going on in their lives, that's like one of the least thing that they're thinking of is sharing somebody else, stuff, you know what I'm saying? But if you do come across my stuff, man, share it. You know what I'm saying?
Come
If
on.
you
Come
do come
on.
across my stuff, man, just share it.
100%,
Yeah, I
man.
just like, say, hey, I love that. Share it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's all it is,
Yep. It goes back
And
to the
go ahead.
saying, bro. It goes back to the saying. Also, that when I moved to Oklahoma, there's a saying that goes, a prophet is not loved in his own city. You get what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yep.
But the moment I came to Oklahoma, my network started to get bigger. You get what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Online presence started to get bigger a little bit, right?
Hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
when I was back home, it was, especially the people I grew up with, you get what I'm saying, and also close family, I thought they were gonna be the first one. Get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
in reality, that's not it. But the moment I was able to shift my mindset, I really didn't care. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
at the end of the day, business didn't come from our families and friends. Business
Yep.
Yeah.
came from strangers, man. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? So,
100%.
it was just shifting the mindset and thinking, more positive about it. And, people will come around. But you know what they say, man, if you wasn't sitting with us at the dirt, on the dirt, in the dirt, you can't sit with us at the table, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
1,000%.
sir. Hey, you know what, man? This guy be asking all these questions, man, to us, bro. But I like to ask a question, man, to the oosh, man, the credit oosh, man.
Come on.
What's
Bro,
going on,
hey, man, honestly, bro, where do you get this hustle from, bro?
bro? To be honest, yeah, I feel like I'm born with the hustle, but just being around people that push me and uplift me, it makes me go harder, bro. Not only that, like I do it for my family, but I feel like you gotta be around dogs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You gotta be around a dog to be a dog. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, like we were talking earlier, I'm going to run out of power, right? I'm gonna run out of getting it, right? But if you have, people behind you, like, hey, bro, what's going on? I haven't seen your posts. I haven't seen you doing anything. What's going on, man? You're not working out. You don't have people to push you, man. Like that's why I said I feel like proximity is crazy, right? Proximity is so important to me, and executing, right? If you're around executors like my boys, like my partners, that's all I want to be around, bro. Like I don't want to be making any excuses, bro. And I'm the type of person, to be honest, I'm never gonna try to one up somebody. But if I can one up myself every single day, that
Mm.
stacks up and
Come
it
on.
compounds, man, and just puts me on another level, man. So it's just like being better than yesterday. I feel like I want to be better than I was yesterday. And once I lose that, that mode, right? Once I'm not in that grind mode, once I start getting lazy, then I got my partners like hitting me up, So it goes hand in hand, man. Like, I'm a dog, but you also got to be around dogs. You know what I mean? That's where the hustle comes from, man. And just doing it
Big
for our family,
dogs. Big
doing
Yes,
it, yeah,
sir.
big dog, yeah, for sure, man. And doing it for our family, guys, like that's automatic. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes the doubts will be there. You will be tired at sometimes, So, like you guys said, I asked you guys a question today. What's more important than believing in yourself? You guys said faith, guys. So, you know, people having that faith in God as well is super important to me because sometimes I feel down, bro. You know what I mean? I don't want to go to the next day. But if I got that, like, oh, God got me, but also at the same time, you're praying for it, but you have to execute and take action, man. You can't just pray about it and it's gonna come,
Gotta put in
because
the
God,
works. Gotta put in
why
the
should I give
works.
this
Yep.
guy? Why should I give this guy this when he's not even moving? Right?
Hmm.
It's like going to the gym. You exercising. If you have a gym membership and you're not using the weights, you're not gonna get in shape. So it's the
Yep.
same concept. But
Yes, sir.
that's where I hustle from is just being around other hustlers. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
already born natural, but being around other hustlers totally makes a difference, man. Totally,
Man,
man.
honestly, bro, man, I also see it, man. I see it like coming from like your parents too, bro. Like, knowing your
Oh,
mom and your
it's in the
dad
DNA,
too.
bro. It's in the DNA, bro.
They're like entrepreneurs in their own way. You know what I'm saying?
It's in the
And that's
DNA,
where,
bro.
I seen it too, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I met you through like jobs, right? Like seeing you working and stuff like that, but then now we're in like this era, right? Now we're in this era, you know, what you call it? It's crazy, because now I see you and then I see them, right? And I was like, man, this like to me, but I was like, this is where this guy gets it from. You know what I'm saying? Because now I see it in a different lens. You know what I'm saying? We used
Oh
to be just
yeah.
work buddies, and we were like best friends from there, but now we're different. We're business minded. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm like, damn, this is really where this all this hustle from, man. I feel like, bro, it's
Oh
literally
yeah,
from
man.
mom and your
You know what?
dad,
You're right.
bro.
I'm gonna shout out to my parents, man. They 1,000%. I feel like it's in the DNA as well. My parents always been entrepreneurs, so they've
Yeah.
been, grinding, but I'm now I'm here with my partners and we got the whole financial literacy going on. We're gonna go get farther than where we're at. You know what I'm saying? For
Yep.
them. Now I'm
Yes,
educating
sir.
them. So shout out to my parents, man. Always working hard and always trying to think outside the box. You know what I
Come
mean?
Yep.
on.
Yep. You
Come
see him?
on.
Yep. You got a question, see?
Yeah, bro. I got a quick question for you, man. What's a chapter of your life that made you who you are today?
Oh
The whole
man.
book.
Who I am today, man. I say, man, um, probably just family, bro. Like,
Mm,
before when I met Doc, bro, like I was in a bad situation, bro. Like
Yeah.
I was, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was doing drugs, bro, selling drugs. Man, not being a hard headed, a young adult, right? And bro, I think your L's, your lessons, those make you stronger, right? So I feel like my L's, all the L's that I took and the 10 years that I wasted on irrelevant parties and just drinking, because our some more people love to drink, bro. And it's kind of like in the culture, but I wanted to stray away from that. But I feel like yeah, the L's definitely made me who I am, and I don't regret it, man. Like I want to take it back because I learned, you know, the growth is there, man. Like I learned, I don't ever want to go back. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So that's where I'm at. That's probably the most life changing is all the bad mistakes and lessons that I had. But yeah, just being real, man, 100%.
Man, come on, man. I love
Let's
that, bro.
get it,
And
bro. I
but
love
you
that.
see, man, look how far we are at now. You know what I'm saying? We only just scratched the surface. We got more coming. We still got more to go. But man, I'm proud of both of you guys too, man, on your guys' journey along the way, bro. So let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it, my brothers. Yes, sir, Ski.
100%, man.
Oh, okay. Stop. Just
Bro,
stop.
that
Just
was
stop. That
fire.
was it.
That was fire, bro. Y'all almost
Woo!
made me cry on camera.